Hey guys, long time no see. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I wanted to do a pick a card reading on how your person's currently feeling about you. So we have three piles to choose from today. On the left, starting with pile one, ending with pile three on the right. So really take some time to focus in on these faces. See which one is pulling you in the most. If you need more time, pause here. But let us make haste, and I'll see you at your pile. Hello, group one. Let's see how your person is currently feeling about you. We have expression, shadow self, new beginnings, and love. For tarot, we have Seven of Wands, the Chariot, Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the 12th house. We also have a couple romance angel cards on this side for lack of space, but just to show you really quickly, we have deception, very soon, and chemistry. Okay. So it seems as though this is a rather new connection in your life. Perhaps this is someone that you've been seeing casually for a short period of time. There's something that has to do with like location or someone traveling, or perhaps you met this person through travel, or you or this person travels for work. I'm leaning more towards this person, but there is some element of someone being in and out of meet space. But so there's something cyclical about this connection, but through that cyclical aspect, I feel like it does keep the relationship dynamic feeling very fresh and new each time, because there's anticipation in seeing the person, and because you guys aren't able to spend such long periods of time together, um, there's still a lot that is not known about the other person's characters, wants, desires, and needs. So there is something kind of mysterious that I'm picking up on between the both of you with this shadow self card, the expression card, and also the 12th house. This person could be foreign to you, or perhaps you to them, because the 12th house does have to do with foreign lands and faraway places. But there is this like undefined quality to how you guys are relating to each other, and what this connection is and where it's possibly going. I think you would describe this person as kind of dry. They're very materially oriented, but with a lot of the fire that's coming through in the cards as well, I do think this person's pretty witty, and they really like to travel, see new things, and experience new places. But in that, I do feel like there's a sort of contrast between the both of you. I think you have a fiery nature, but it wouldn't be the first thing that someone would initially um, characterize you as. There's something kind of more mystical or whimsical, kind of willowy, I would also say, about you. With the expression card, I feel like this person sees you as more eccentric as opposed to their more pragmatic nature. I don't think they're super flashy, but you may, decorate yourself in really interesting ways that they're really attracted to. There is a lot of attraction between you and this person. They find you really ornate, but also like you may be into colors, but in more muted hues as well. There's also something really significant about your eyes that they like. They may have commented on that before, as well as your hair and your derriere. But what's really interesting about these cards too is something that I notice is a lot of the images of the people depicted in these cards, they're either not facing completely to the front, or seeing them from behind, or their profile, or they're kind of veiled in a way. And so that's is speaking towards that deception card to me. I feel like you and this person haven't fully revealed yourselves to each other, and there's kind of this feeling of withholding. With shadow self, there's something about meeting you and interacting with you that is pointing towards some sort of trigger in this person. It's like making them remember either a certain significant relationship that they've had in their past, or, like I said in the beginning, this person, I think you guys were interacting with each other on a more casual level. Um, but I think perhaps you're growing a bit more defensive due to the kind of in and out nature of how you guys are relating with one another, and perhaps you're not extending yourself as willingly to this person, um, because you want to know what their motivations are, where this connection is heading. And this person, I don't feel like is initially super willing to extend a commitment. Even though there is attraction, I think they're scared of how they feel when they're with you, because with love here, it seems like this person can see a longer future with you. And then with love and the 12th house is associated with Neptune and, Pisces as well. And Venus exalts in Pisces. So the highest expression of love tends to be found in that 12th house area, where there is this boundlessness and a wanting to completely give yourself to this connection. And this person may find you to be really loving, maybe you're even artistic in your expression, poetic in a way with how you relate to people. And they don't understand how you're able to get to that place that quickly within yourself. With your emotionality, there's something quite sensitive about you, but even though you're sensitive, you're still, there's still a wall that they're feeling now, that may have not been there before. So with very soon coming up, I don't know if you guys have made arrangements to see each other very soon, or perhaps this person's going to be reaching out to you in the near future. But there's something about this that there's like, this person is feeling like there's higher stakes that's coming up in this connection between the two of you guys, where it feels like they're needing to show their hand. This person may end up revealing a little bit more about how they feel to you, even though there's a lot of restraint within themselves about doing that. I think this person likes to express their feelings through a lot of physicality, and they're very passionate in that way. And even with the shadow self, the card itself talks about like a lot of fear about facing what's repressed. So I think this person can feel as though that you are kind of withholding yourself back instead of just giving yourself to the passions, because you're more concerned with like discerning and defining what the relationship is. But the person with the 12th house, we have keep your involvement hidden. They're not really trying to completely clearly state who they are, what they want, and perhaps they're not even sure yet, because there is a fear. We even have like the moon in a crescent phase. So it's not even a fully grown moon, like a full moon, where you can clearly see these truths are being illuminated. There's still something about this person that they feel like if they give into the relationship, that it would damper all that can be felt emotionally between the two of you guys through a connection that is not defined. So how this person feels about you, they're attracted to you, they're really enjoy how they feel when they're around you. There's a beautiful emotionality that you have about yourself, something almost somber in a way. But when the two of you get together due to your juxtaposing energies, something really dynamic, there's an alchemical process between you guys where there is a lot of attraction. There is a lot of, passion. But I feel like both people are apprehensive, because one side kind of mirrors the shadow side of the other person. I feel like this person is avoidant of their emotional nature, their sensitivities. They don't really like to lean that heavily into that. And perhaps you don't like being overly pragmatic and are really into getting into the depths of your emotional body. I see a lot of water in these cards, so there is something quite deep about you, and they do appreciate it, but they do feel apprehensive about what that could mean in terms of a new beginning. There's still something quite fresh about this relationship, but they do see themselves being able to invest themselves more into the situation, but they kind of fear what that means for their self-autonomy. Okay, thank you so much, Group 1, for watching. If this resonated, be sure to leave a comment and catch me in the next video. Bye. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into how your person is currently feeling about you. We have discernment, transition, celebration, patience, listening, the Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Knight of Cups, Three of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Fifth House. We also have some romance angel cards. We have Love Yourself First, Engagement, and Romantic Feelings. So with your reading, I definitely felt like there was some type of miscommunication, or something definitely got lost in translation between you and this person. There's a lot of he said, she said going on. And so I feel like you and this person are not even realizing that you both perceived something about the other incorrectly. I'm noticing in these cards there's a lot of covering the mouth, of the eyes, of the ears. And there's a lot of birds and like butterflies around as well. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are posing as emissaries between you and this person. And with the Emperor, I don't know if this person was actively sending people to be kind of a messenger between you and them, like kind of putting out feelers to see where you and this person are standing. There's some event or gathering that is at the center of this situation. Something that was supposed to be celebratory ended up not being, due to someone seeing something and interpreting it in the wrong way. I think someone didn't really take this person didn't really take their time in thinking about how to best approach this situation. And there is a genuine romantic connection between you and this person. I do just feel like there's too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to you and this person. I don't know if you guys share a social group and frequent the same places. And so this connection maybe did not initially start off as romantic, but you know them from your community. And so this person has been actively trying to advance this connection into the next stage, but there is a lot of obstacles to traverse here, and they're man-made obstacles. So I think what was supposed to be a romantic gesture was mistook as, I don't know, there was something that was like offensive about it, and it doesn't seem direct, but I'm not really sure how to place it. It's because this person seems like they may be more on the flirty end, or they have a lot of people as well that are interested in them as well. And perhaps you also, but there's something about you that is more self-contained and reserved. You don't really like overdo it in terms of your like self-expression or being like the loudest in the room. So there's something composed and kind of remote about you. And something similarly in this person, but a lot of people kind of flock to being around them. And I see it. They're perceiving you as somewhat impenetrable, and perhaps they were kind of triangulating a situation in terms of posturing themselves next to other people to kind of incite a feeling of jealousy within you. But that just kind of put you off, because I'm not sure if this was somewhere where you were being celebrated for something, or perhaps you were being celebrated for a promotion in whatever, or it could have been a birthday celebration. There was somewhere where you and this person and others were gathering, and it may have been your moment to be centered, and you witnessed this person engaging closely with someone else, but they weren't truly interested in that person, and perhaps were just, utilizing them to catch your eye, but you took it not in the way that they thought it would go, and decided to promptly move away from that situation, just because they see you as someone with a lot of self-respect. And also perhaps you are often insulated within a group as well. And so they also feel like it's kind of hard to bridge that gap to get to you and isolate you to have one-on-one time to get to talk to you. They may like overhear your conversations a lot. They're trying to gauge your interest. They're kind of always hovering at the periphery to get a little bit more information about you. They're coming up from behind a lot. But they do want to have another go at this situation. With the fifth house we have on the card, it says the power of love. The fifth house is a romantic card. So this person, they are very charismatic. They do want to wine and dine you and woo you and, you know, get to a place where you and them could explore some romance with each other. Or if you and this person were in a relationship, you may have like had some type of spat due to like a lot of like he said, she said, people trying to interfere in the relationship. But this person is wanting you and them to be able to, you know, truly understand each other, because I feel like they want to clarify something that was seen, or perhaps you didn't get to see it but you overheard it. And so people are kind of like mixing up the situation. I even feel like I'm sounding confusing because the situation is like so fuzzy, but I think you and this person have a lot of fun with each other, even as a group. And one-on-one, there is a lot of potential for, you know, a lot of excitement and playfulness between you and this person. I think this person can sometimes seem like they're a little bit more reserved and stern, but then they know how to really, you know, turn on the charisma in a group setting. I feel like if you and them were one-on-one, you would kind of see that they do have like a really intellectual side as well. I think this person really likes hearing the things that you have to say. They find you super insightful. There may be some sort of, I don't know if there's also a bit of a language barrier, like a literal one in between you and this person if you guys are from different places, because there's something about this connection that is going to take patience to bridge your communication styles. But they know that they're going to have to, you know, take their time to, you know, showcase to you that there's someone that you should take seriously. Because with discernment, I do think that you might run a strict program. With transition, she's like in front of this like tight rope kind of thing. And so it's like you're often barricaded off from this person. You may have come out of a relationship not too long ago yourself, or if it wasn't a relationship, you could have gone through like your own personal hardship. And so you're recovering from that and you kind of feel secure within your walls, or you feel secure within your friend group. And you could have also friends that are super protective of you, but sometimes that protection can maybe be a little overprotective, and this person should also figure out a way to just be more direct in terms of expressing their feelings, and perhaps you would appreciate that more. But I do feel like the situation, this person is going to make another attempt to reach out to you to kind of clarify through a conversation how they feel and see how you're feeling about things, and see if there is an opportunity for you guys to keep exploring each other further, isolated from a group. So group 2, I know this was a brief one. I'm just getting back out there. If you did like this reading, be sure to give a comment, like the video, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, group 3. So let's get into your reading of seeing how your person is feeling about you. So we have a lot of cards came out for you guys. There's innocence, power, release, strength, purity, beauty, enchantment. There's the Lovers, the Page of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the King of Wands, Five of Wands, King of Cups, Eight of Swords. We also have a couple romance angel cards. There's attraction, let go of control issues, and keep an open mind. Okie dokie. I do feel like you're dealing with someone with a little bit of overly controlling tendencies. I don't think this is someone that you are super, super close with, but they are enchanted by your perceived innocence. Purity also came through. I think you and this person have a strong juxtaposition between the two of you guys. I feel like this person, there may be an age gap at play here, or there's some type of power imbalance between the two of you. They are really struck with how open and there's something, however you relate to this person, there's some level of inexperience that you have compared to like a vast amount of experience and time in a certain field that this person has. They're really attracted to the freshness and novelty of you, which to each their own in terms of being attracted to you by that. But you do have a very light energy about yourself. And I feel like this person is, you know, enamored with this sense of freedom, this sense of unbridledness that they perceive about you, because they don't feel that within themselves. And instead of just wanting to experience that through being in relationship with you by, you know, learning those traits that you have about yourselves, they do want to kind of have you for themselves. There's my camera cut off, so I'm not sure where I left off, but just to recap, this person is really fascinated by this lightness of energy that you have. They find you quite beautiful. There is something that is particularly striking about you. They really like kind of like that 3/4. Yeah, I think that's right. That like, it's like slightly profile, but a little bit to the front look of your face. Not quite sure where I left off, but just to recap, this person is really taken with your beauty. There's something really light about you, light in spirit, particularly, that they find so fascinating. And perhaps you and this person had made an attempt at a connection before, or this person knows that they have an issue with control. They're very dominant in energy, in position as well. I mean, that probably directly translates into their work field. I do see like a cheetah in this card that's sticking out to me. This person could be an Aquarius or a Scorpio or a Pisces, because I'm thinking in Western, but in Vedic astrology, I'm thinking of all of the big cat yonis, so like Dhanishta, Vishaka, Chitra. So there's something that's very direct, and they like to be seen in forefront, and they definitely like to go after what it is that they want. But I think there is, given this perceived innocence about you, there is something oddly protective. Like there's like a shell around you, around this pearl that they see you as, that keeps you safe. There's a strength about you, you know, it's like calcified, this casing about yourself that makes you hard to get to for this person. And I think in observing you and their desire to be in connection with you, I think they're having to learn this lesson about releasing of control, and not holding on so tightly, and really trying to commandeer or domineer, I'm just throwing words out, a situation, because I feel like this person comes from resources, and with their position, they're able to move a lot of things around. But there is something about your purity of spirit, because I think you relate with people from a place of such earnestness that they end up becoming a bit disarmed. You may have met this person through the workplace, and they definitely listen out for information about you. I think you're working towards, moving up in your career, and they're observing you and may even be trying to be a silent helper, silent even to your awareness, because they do see kind of like a kindredness in the both of you. Like they remember when they were also perhaps younger or more less experienced and sprightly. And when you're in that energy, you kind of go at things like from a different place when you don't have something to lose. And yeah, I think that they are really taken with that. You have like a charisma about yourself. There is something kind of bold about you as well to this person, and they see you as someone with a lot of potential. And perhaps due to the environment they know you from, they are kind of restrained from interacting with you that deeply. And perhaps that's why you sense that connection with them as well, but that there is this barrier between, an invisible barrier between you and this person. Even though there is something kind of kindred between the two of you. Now, there does seem like there's a lot of conversation around you that this person is aware of. And it doesn't seem as though the person that you came to this reading about is the only person that has a really strong sense of interest in you. In fact, there may be someone who you are in connection with or building a connection with, at least to this person's eye, that this person sees as being more on your level, perhaps in age and experience and attractiveness, like you guys are within each other's league. And this person may see you as like, or you guys both may be out of each other's leagues, air quote, in different ways, like you perhaps in physicality, and vigor, and them in material wealth and position. And they see someone who they would assume would be a more suitable partner for you, as opposed to them who they see there would always be a sort of like imbalance between the both of you as well. I feel like this person is trying to relinquish their control and fixation on the situation, because I do think that they really struggle with not utilizing their power to their advantage. But this person was really fixated on you for a long time because they also saw your beauty as a sort of power that you held, and they weren't sure, maybe they even falsely kind of characterized you to be someone who would weaponize your beauty, which that is definitely like a personal conception to even think that. But they definitely felt, just because they were affected by your attractiveness and fixated with that, they felt like weak to that energy. And perhaps in their own personal life, they aren't in a position to ever be considered weak or struggle with those things. So it really affected them. Yeah. They definitely also really like the colors that you tend to wear. I don't know if you wear a lot of blush tones. I'm also seeing a lot of blues coming through. Yellow is significant as well. But they do look forward to hearing like information about you and seeing what you're going to do next. But I think this person is being taken through a lesson of allowing someone else to have their own sense of autonomy. And also perhaps they made a kind of undercurrent, or not a super overt gesture towards you, and I don't think you really responded in the way that they thought you would, or you may have slightly rejected this person, and they had to kind of learn that what is perceived as innocence isn't, you know, exactly naivete, and that, you know, you're not as unprotected as they thought you were, just because you may not be in the same position or as experienced as them in a certain field or just in your life in general. And so that was kind of humbling and interesting. But this person definitely does have a soft spot for you. They're super conflicted about, you know, where this could go, and they are leaning towards more resolute that perhaps it's not going to go anywhere. And so they are just restraining themselves, but they do see a kindredness in you, and the innocence they perceive in you and the lightness that they perceive in you reminds them that they too could have that lightness within themselves. So in a way that is super beautiful. But yeah, group 3, that was all I had for today. If you like this reading, be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.